The irony is that most of the stores that were looted in the riots were committed by black people. My point is, it's an irrational act. It's an act of aggression by people who feel neglected and turned away by the system. It's like what happened in Watts or in Chicago in '68.
That's such a lot of crap. Calling a riot an irrational expression of rage. That's such a cop-out. It's opportunism at its worst. It's a bunch of people grabbing any excuse they can find to go and loot a store. Nothing more. And the fact that these people ripped off stores in their own neighbourhood, all that reflects is the degree in which these people have absolutely no respect for the law or, concept of like community or civic responsibility.
But white people commit crimes against white people too.
Yeah, but they're not offing each other in record numbers across America. I mean, look at the statistics for Christ's sake. 1 in every 3 black males is in some phase of the correctional system. Is that a coincidence? Or did these people have some kind of racial commitment to crime?
Well, maybe there's a prejudice in the judicial system. You want to talk about criminal statistics? Why don't you look at the social inequalities that produce them?
That's what I hate. That there is exactly what I hate, Mary. Because what you're doing is you're taking one thing and calling it something else, and just alleviating the responsibility these people have for their own actions. It's like saying it's not a riot, it's rage, it's not crime, it's poverty, it's nonsense, it's bullshit. And it's exactly what happened in this trial too, because the media, they twisted things around so people got all focused on, whether or not these cops, were going to get convicted, or whether or not Rodney King's civil rights had been violated. I mean, everyone forgot about old Rodney King himself. The guy's a multiple felon. He's high as a goddamn kite, driving 120 miles per hour down the motorway. He gets pulled over by a bunch of cops, and he attacks them. He attacks police officers. That's the bottom line. And he walked, and then some fucking dickhead with a video camera who turns it on halfway through, so all we see is them hitting him. You got the officers hitting with their clubs, kick him in the back of the head, so it looks severe, and everyone's all like, oh, this poor guy who attacked 4 cops. And those 4 cops end up on the stand defending themselves for using absolutely standard textbook self-defense procedures.
Well, I've seen the tapes, and we didn't see Rodney hit the cops. I thought the cops used their batons excessively.
Who are you to say it was excessive? I think it was totally appropriate. I think they're in a better position to make that judgment call than you are. In fact, we as society grant cops a certain amount of authority to make those calls because, we acknowledge their jobs are difficult and dangerous. Unfortunately, very few people respect that.
You're talking about respect, Mr. Junior KKK.
What? Look, I did not say I respect the laws. I said I acknowledge a cop's authority. I don't respect any laws that let fucking monkeys like Rodney King back on the street. And secondly, as you well know, I am not part of some low-rent redneck, disorganized bunch of bastards like the fucking KKK.
Do you have a point? What's your point, Derek?
If Danny had been walking across the street that night, and Rodney King had been on coke, PCP, whatever the fucker was on, and he had knocked Danny over, he'd be singing a very different tune about him right now.
You saw the tapes, I saw the tapes. We didn't see him hit anybody.
He didn't happen to kill anyone, thank God. But I mean, come on. If that fucking monkey had killed some kid, you'd be singing a very fucking different tune about him, and everyone would. No one would be focused on, these cops. They'd be focused on Rodney King. Instead, he just attacked a few cops, and it's hands across America for this total son of a bitch. I mean, it blows my fucking mind. We're so hung up on this, notion that we have to help the struggling black man. Cut him some slack. Let him overcome his historical injustices. It's crap, and everything you're saying just perpetuates it. I mean, Lincoln fucking freed the slaves over 130 years ago. How long does it take to get your act together?
Well, the Jews have been persecuted for 5,000 years. Do you think it's wrong to feel sensitive about anti-Semitism?